Hey, Eastern Oregon, thanks for joining us on AM on EOAlive. I'm getting better at that.
This is you must have practiced it in the shower.
I did. No, I was just right before the show. I'm like repeating it over and over again. Yeah, like an actor's line. So, hey, this is February the 2nd.
How are you, man? Today's February the 4th.
I'm sorry, February the 4th.
See, man, you're losing days.
I still didn't get it right. Yeah. I'm looking at it right
Thursday.
Here. Yeah. Hey, how are you, man? You're
good.
Awake. You're up.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm rolling.
All right.
It's Thursday. A lot easier than Tuesday.
Is it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Man, I had a work city council last night, and so man, I am just dragging. There's just a lot of things going on in my world that are.
Are we gonna see the zero gravity chair at some time today?
No. Oh well, you won't. I might.
That thing wouldn't fit me anyways. That's not making people.
I thought about offering it to you, but it's yeah. So folks don't know, but like I have a one of those. We used to call them a lawn chair. Now it's just a gravity chair.
Yeah, zero gravity. Yeah.
Zero gravity chair. Yeah, which is a stupid name as far as I'm concerned. But anyhow. And so,
so gravity's still pulling you down.
Yes.
It doesn't defeat gravity like a ninja.
Yeah. So I turn the lights off and pull the chair out and put a note on my door sometimes that, hey, taking a nap. Yep. Come back in 15 minutes. It doesn't take me very long to rejuvenate.
I just do it right here on the floor. I shut the door and turn all the lights off.
That's right. I came in the studio one time and almost stepped on your glasses.
Yeah, you did. Oh gosh. All right. Well, let's get to Chef Russ. Marketplace Fresh Foods right here in LeGrand. They're right next door. We bring Russ on every show and he talks about what the special is, and let's bring him on in. What's up, Russ?
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Another day.
Hey.
How are you, man?
Doing good, man. Just keep plugging away, you know.
He likes 8 o'clock about as much as I do.
Oh man, this is torture right here. I'd rather have toothpicks, stuck under my fingernails.
All right, what you got for a special?
We got the spicy buffalo chicken sandwich today. We got the chicken noodle soup. We got creamy tomato bisque. We got the soup bar going on. We got the paninis going on. We got tomorrow. We got the famous fish and chips. That's been a big hit. Super Bowl Sunday. We got the smoked brisket, beef brisket. We got buffalo chicken wings, soups, sandwiches, Italian subs. So come check us out, man. You're missing it.
So I took my mom and my sister over there for lunch a couple days ago, and my mom had the tiramisu, and she said it's fantastic. And then I've tried both of the quiches that you guys are making now, and oh man, those are fire.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Well, hey, talk to us about the brisket, man. That sounds good on Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna smoke. Actually, the Joseph store is smoking a brisket. We're gonna get it and we're gonna slice it up. We're gonna serve it barbecue style, either dinner style with some potatoes or on the sandwich with some coleslaw.
Yeah.
And we got the double cut wings, the double joint wings, real huge ones. So.
Yeah. How much is the brisket? You know what that's gonna be, Russ?
$10.95.
Yeah, sounds fantastic.
I've had the brisket.
And the wings are 20 wings for $29.95.
All right.
Awesome.
He made me a quesadilla one time. I'm a quesadilla lover, and it was brisket, and it ended up being like, it's like eating a sandwich. Well, Marketplace Fresh Foods right here in LeGrand, 4th and Adams. They got full lunch special, 11 to 3, $8.95. Can't beat it.
So Russ, who are you rooting for Super Bowl?
I'm a long-time Jets fan, so I hate Tom Brady. So I got to go with Kansas City.
I feel sorry for you being a Jets fan.
Bad. I can't catch a break. But if he wins it, man, you got to give it to him, man. I'll tell you that. You got to give it to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We appreciate you, Russ.
Yeah. All right, no problem.
Have a good day.
Thanks a bunch.
Enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll see you next week. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, Marketplace Fresh Foods. If you haven't tried it, get down there. I know that people. It's in a wonderful place for one thing. This building is phenomenal. when things open up, people will be able to see that there's a rooftop terrace, there's seating upstairs, there's seating downstairs, there's a full 12 taps. They cater to just about everything.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, hey, if you're watching the show, hey, comment. We want to know that you're here. So sure. We like to interact with you. So, man, you know what? I didn't even I wasn't really a wing guy until I started watching. I mean, we'd had Super Bowl parties and somebody brought wings. It's like, that's too hot. But I mean, now it's just like it's part of the tradition.
I'll eat them, but I usually don't cook them because they're too much work to eat, man. I'd rather just have give me something that you ain't got to suck the bone on.
Well, and you know what? I always like the drumstick part of the wings. I mean,
it's way better. Yeah, way better than what's the other part called? There's a name for it.
I don't know. It's the wing part of the wing.
I'm not a big wing dude, so
yeah. But I tell you, the other thing I like to do is make gumbo. You ever make gumbo?
I made gumbo, yes.
Oh man, that's one of my.
I have one of my really good friends' dad. He grew up in the South. He was in the military, and he's a heck of a cook. And he brought me some gumbo one time. And at the time I was in college, and I had quite an appetite, and it was a whole gallon bag of gumbo, and I ate that whole thing in one night.
So Justin Rock said, good morning. He's gonna, I haven't told you that, but he's gonna come on the show on Tuesday.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah. Justin owns Rock and Sons Tire and Auto.
Give him a nice hard time.
Yeah. So, and Ashley, good morning to you.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do weather next?
Yeah.
Let's bang it out.
Yeah. So here. Oh, there's the weather cam.
Yeah, overcast.
I kind of covered us up here. Where's our
overcast? I like that version right there. Keep it just like that.
Yeah. Why am I not surprised? There we go. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's overcast out there. I mean, it's not horrible. It's wet. I can't stand the rain personally.
Yeah. So, yeah. And let's see. Let's go. What's next here? There we go.
Oh, really? The BC? That's already all over the internet anyway. Everybody's already seen that.
This is my granddaughter.
Oh wow! Well, my mom killed me with that. That's terrible.
What do you mean? I haven't said what that is. Do you want to say what that is?
I'll say what it is. That's me when I was a kid. My mother posted pictures of my brothers, and I talked a bunch of smack about it because she couldn't find the ones of me. And I actually posted a picture of my own son dressed up like a girl. Well, yesterday I wake up and there's all these, notifications on Facebook, and I'm like, what is it? So I clicked on it, and that's what it was.
There you go.
Driving me. So it looks like we're going to be, about the same as we've been running. Like we're running right around freezing in the morning and the evening, and we're jumping up to about 40 in the afternoon. Cloudy, possible chances of showers. Gabe says that it's going to be a little bit windy, and we might have a little bit of snow tonight, and then it'll turn to rain.
Yep.
And then for Friday, it's going to warm up. The low looks like it's going to be 38, and we're going to get more rain. Imagine that. Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because yesterday morning, Gabe had said, he had said in his forecast, and then on Tuesday morning, he had said, we might get a little bit of snow on Wednesday, and when I was leaving the house, yep, Gabe got it right.
I hope JB sees that shameless little plug right there.
Which one's that?
Right there.
Oh, for Justin. Yeah. Well, Hey, so our guest today is Kevin Rainey.
Yep.
And
Kevin Rainey, middle school.
Kevin Rainey has been Kevin and Kim have been the executive directors. I think that Kevin is the executive director, and Kim just comes via connection. Yeah, and they've been at the J House for 14 years now. Is that right?
That's
14
correct.
years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So
yeah. That's crazy. And tomorrow night here on EOAlive, we're going to have their yearly fundraiser, which is normally a banquet, and clearly they can't have the banquet this year, and so they're kind of having an online fundraising event, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But Kevin, introduce yourself to the audience. A lot of people know you. Kind of tell us, tell us where you're from originally and how you got involved in Youth for Christ.
Well, I'm Kevin Rainey. I've been the executive director, like you said, for 14 years here at Eastern Oregon Youth for Christ. Grew up actually in the area. I remember Dodsey back in Optimus football days, shortly after that dress picture, I think. And then, I think we're both on the front line, if I recall. So, yeah, I'm a product of the Valley here, and just love Eastern Oregon, and love the area, and just glad to be a part of it and be able to reach out to kids. So, Youth for Christ is kind of a outreach program for middle school, high school age kids. So we work with 11 to 19-year-olds, and have an awesome new facility across from the high school called the J House Youth Center. I used to have an old house that was right here that was a J House. So that's why it's called the J House. And yeah, it's just awesome to be able to be a part of the community and be able to be there for our youth. So
where are you sitting?
I'm sitting in my office, actually. So
it looks like it's made for this.
Yeah, it's just a blind behind me that's actually down.
It's like a perfect backdrop, man. It's like you planned it or something.
My wife is a great interior designer. I let her do her thing.
Awesome.
So talk a little bit about, because you kind of have you didn't have the smoothest of high school experience, which then kind of puts you in a position of relating to some kids that might struggle in high school. I don't know. Talk a little bit about that, Kevin, if you would.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because when I started this 14 years ago, I got to go back onto LHS campus, and it was actually my senior year of high school. I got expelled from LHS for being a not so great kid. So it was pretty surreal to be able to step back on that campus and actually be representing Christ and this ministry. I know it was a shocker for many faculty members and others, as there was a lot of folks that were still there that had remembered my high school days when I wasn't such a great kid. So I don't know. I mean, I think that, some of my choices as a teen actually has probably helped me a lot in being able to minister to the kids that we see. Sometimes they're kind of the fringe kids that maybe are the little more forgotten or off to the edge. I mean, we really are open for all kids that come here, but I think that, more is caught than taught to some extent. So when you make some bad choices in life, it helps you to actually be aware of those when other kids are making those choices, and be able to say, hey, I've walked a mile in those shoes. Let's talk about it, instead of just being able to sympathize with it. You can really empathize with it. So yeah, it's cool to be a part for so many years.
So when you were a student, was there was a house there? Were people living in it, or were there Bible classes then? Or because Kyle was mentioning, he said there was something going on, but it wasn't owned by Youth for Christ at that time.
Actually, I think it was. So Youth for Christ bought this location, this property in like 90 or 91, I think it was, that they actually purchased the house that was here on the corner. So they were doing Youth for Christ when I was in high school, but it wasn't in the groups that I was running with at all. So I actually knew nothing about YFC when I was in school. So it wasn't until later when I became a believer to find out about the ministry. So,
yeah. Well, and let me show a little bit of, if I can navigate it. Let me show you guys a little bit of the new place. It's right on the corner. It's very cool. This is a video that we're going to use at the fundraiser tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's 6 times bigger than the old facility. So gives us way more opportunity to be able to, reach out to more kids and have more kids have places to play and hang out. Got a half-court basketball coffee shop that's going to be in there.
Get through it a little bit, and then this is kind of
wow.
from up above. Yeah, really cool facility. Because a huge part of what you guys have done is you do the lunches, which is I mean, I've been up there at that house when you have like 100 kids come through at lunch.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we've been missing being able to do that. So with COVID and stuff, we haven't gotten back to be able to serve lunches quite yet. But as kids are starting to get back in school, we're hoping to get back to that. So we do Taco Tuesdays and mac and cheese and chicken nuggets on Thursdays, and it's free to high school students. And yeah, in the old building, even we were pushing 150 kids that would come through each day to get lunch. So great opportunity to serve some kids and get to know them.
So good morning, Jimmy. Glad you're here with us today.
Morning, Marilyn.
Good morning, Marilyn. So tell us about the kind of programs that you do, Kevin.
So we currently we have our drop-in center on Mondays through Thursdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here at the building. And it's just kind of a great place for kids to come hang out and play games, hang out with their friends, be around some loving adults. We got pool table and foosball and air hockey and carpet ball and basketball, and they play volleyball and hacky sack and stuff. But have a snack time during that, and we just want somewhere safe for kids to be. We know a lot of parents are working at that time, so it's kind of for the latchkey kids a little bit to have somewhere they can be and have some supervision maybe and stay out of trouble. Because I know, like I said, when I was in high school, it was those times when nobody was watching that I made bad choices. So it's a good thing to have some supervision sometimes. And then we also do our campus life clubs, which is our kind of our youth group nights. Monday nights are high school at 7:01 here at the building, and then Thursday nights at 7:01 for our middle school group. We're having to follow all the COVID restrictions, obviously. Everybody's got to wear masks, and we're doing temp checks and that kind of stuff. But at least we can be in person because, man, I know that a lot of kids are really struggling with just everything being online and not being able to have any social interaction. I mean, us adults are struggling with that. So it's great to actually get to be able to provide a place for them to have somewhere safe to be. And it's big enough now that we can space out and still play games and be together and have some social time together. So that's critical.
Yeah. Early intervention is very important. The last couple of days I've spent quite a bit of time with the new resource officer at the high school. And that's one of the things that we are both pretty passionate about is intervening with kids before they get to the point where, you know, it becomes a serious issue for law enforcement in our community.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one of the things we love too, is being able to be that support that maybe kids aren't getting at home or other places, and or even if they are, be that extra level of support. I mean,
absolutely. And we live unfortunately we live in the county in Oregon that has the highest youth homeless rate in the whole state, which is crazy. Now, when I say homeless, I don't mean like living on the streets per se, but displaced. You could be couch hopping, whatever. You're not living with your guardian, you're homeless. And I mean, this is perfect for intervening in that.
Yeah. So talk to us, Kevin, a little bit about your traditional event and then what's happening tomorrow night.
Well, for 13 years or so, we've done this annual banquet event where we have table hosts and they invite guests, and usually we have about 250 people there. And it's a big banquet type dinner and event, and it's awesome because kids get to come and help serve tables and be a part of all of it. And we get to show some testimonials from kids and actually just kind of what the ministry is and the different things that we're doing here at Youth for Christ and some of our vision of things we want to do in the future. So this year, obviously with COVID, we weren't able to do the in-person, but we wanted to get, creative and thinking about how can we actually still create some social time together, because like I said, adults are needing this as well. And we decided to change it from table hosts to home hosts. So we actually have about 32 home hosts that are going to actually have people to their homes, have about 6 to 8 people over, have a catered dinner that Class Act is doing for us. They're a phenomenal catering group that have worked with us for a decade probably. And so they're actually going to come pick up the food here at the facility before their meal and take it to their home, set up and have dinner with their guests. And then about 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, we'll be live streaming it for all of them that are in home hosts, but also anybody that wants to watch. So anybody that wants to hear about the ministry and be a part of what we're doing, they can jump on to the links that will be with EOAlive and through our website and have a chance to really get to see what it is that we're doing here and hear some testimonies from kids. So we're optimistic. We're excited about this opportunity. It's kind of kind of fun to do a new thing every now and then, even though I'm feeling like kind of an old dog learning new tricks here. We're working at it and figuring it out.
So Kevin, when I'm kind of interested, and I know this story, but most people would not. When you first started doing this 14 years ago, had you been a youth pastor before? Did you have some training or some experience, or what kind of led you to the point of jumping in?
Well, actually, right after I became a believer, so I didn't actually become a believer and follower of Christ till I was 22, through my wife. And right after I became a believer and got married, we started attending First Baptist Church here in town, and our associate pastor at the time said, "Hey, do you guys think you might want to help with the youth group?" And funnily enough, Kim and I both kind of looked at each other and said, "I'm not even sure we like kids enough to do that." And here we are 18 years later, still doing ministry. So we started there just volunteering as help at the youth group at First Baptist. And then I think 2-3 years into that, well, it wasn't even that long into it, probably 6 months into doing that, we went to a youth conference, and I think I was getting more out of it maybe than even the kids, because I was very new to the Lord and really growing at that time. And that's when I felt God calling me into youth ministry. So I said for 2-3 years there, it felt like I was supporting my youth ministry habit with having to have a day-to-day job. And then at one point, one of the board members that was on YFC's board at the time went to our church and brought me an application and said, "Hey, you need to apply for this." And I'd known about Youth for Christ because our churches had done like a Mexico mission trip with them each year with our youth group. But because of work and stuff, I'd never been able to attend really. So I hadn't never really had a chance to see YFC ministry. But like I said, it was one of those things where it was definitely a thing of God, because I wouldn't have expected to be able to stay in the town I grew up in to be able to do ministry. So that's a huge blessing to be able to be here. And it actually fits really well because, like I said, I didn't make all of the best choices, and we're kind of doing outreach. We're working on trying to reach kids with Jesus that maybe have never even heard about him or had a chance to step foot in a church or wouldn't step foot in a church, but they'll come over here for a taco and get a chance to actually see, who Jesus is through the volunteers and start to get involved and be able to ask those questions. We just want to give kids an opportunity to know who he is, and it's up to them, just like it is for any of us, whether they want to have that walk of faith or not.
Yeah, and I would say, for those people that might wonder, it's like, well, they go there and Jesus is crammed down their throats. And I think it's more ministry via osmosis. Kids just have the opportunity to hang around people that have recovered and gone through hard times and perhaps found a better way or found something that's working better for them. And kids have the option of engaging or not. But either way, like, they can come at some point. You guys are going to have to start doing lunches again, and they might not have any interest whatsoever in the gospel or in the message or whatever it is, but they're still going to get some food. Yeah,
yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we're not trying to shove it down anybody's throat for sure. It is really our way of evangelism, if you'd even call it that, is called 3-story. So it's just my story, their story, God's story. So as I get to know kids' story, they want to know my story. My story is connected to God's story because I'm a follower of Christ. Yeah. So that gives us opportunity to just share about what Jesus has done in my life. And if that's something they want in their life, it's their choice. So
absolutely.
So it's kind of funny to me that you and Kyle know each other. Cody,
yeah,
the new sheriff, his name escapes me. Last name escapes me.
Right? Yeah, I grew up with
Cody,
him.
Cody Bowen, and you grew up in.
He's wild too, man.
Yeah, and Corinne Brajati, she's going to love me mentioning this. Corinne Brajati, too. Yeah, and she's the publisher for the newspaper here, and so so it's kind of funny that all these kids who graduated or were at high school together now are in leadership positions and
reconnected too, like through just odd form, just odd things. Like, it really, it's crazy.
I've always joked that if you were a troubled kid, you're either going to be a youth pastor or a policeman, probably. So one of those fields eventually. So hope parents, if your kids, out of control right now, you never know. Because let me tell you, my parents had some rough days with me, and we're not expecting this to be the outcome of my life. But
ditto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I just want to say that, I think the average lifespan for a youth minister in an assignment is like maybe 2 or 3 years at the most, and I did youth ministry for 6 years in one spot. And that was a huge accomplishment, because then you're at least through one generation of kids who come into the group and then graduate, and so for you to have been in that position, for you and Kim to have been engaged for 14 years, that is like amazing. And it just has made a huge impact on our community. People have really no idea the impact that you guys have made. And so
some of the stuff I love now is, probably more than half of our volunteers that are involved are all former students. So they came through the program when they were in high school, and it impacted them so much that they wanted to give back and be a part of it now. So, to me, that's success. And that, that is something rare that most youth leaders don't ever get to see because of not being there long enough to see that. So I guess I just never grew up. So here I am still playing hacky sack and hanging out with kids at 43 instead of doing something else. So.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Kevin, thanks so much. Thanks for your dedication, yours and Kim's dedication. And she's better looking than you. I wish she were on rather than you, but yeah. But
she probably doesn't have the glare. Both of you guys, both of you guys are glaring me out right there, man.
Yeah.
Hey, tomorrow night, 7:00, we'll be streaming the Youth for Christ banquet, and tune in, guys. Even if you're not a follower, tune in and see some of these kids' stories and see what they got going on. It's pretty cool.
It is. And there is an opportunity for people to support the ministry, which is the whole purpose of the thing. What are you guys trying to raise tomorrow approximately?
Well, we're actually still trying to finish up a few things in the new facility. So we're trying to build a stage area, and we need to raise about $30,000 for that. And then we're looking for about $20,000 towards the program. So we're trying to raise about $50,000, which I know sounds like a huge number, but all things are possible through Christ. So we ask. And I mean, I will say this, that the facility that we're in, I mean, it's almost $1 million building, and over $750,000 of that was raised locally. So we have an awesome community that love our kids and want to be involved and have stepped up in a major way to be able to provide a youth center that's going to last hopefully generations and generations for kids here in the Grand Ronde Valley. So
yeah, and you raise your own support for your own funding. Is that I mean, so it's not like you're getting a salary. It's one of your responsibilities or to find people that believe in your ministry personally and donate for your support, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little both. I raise a portion of my support, and then YFC pays a portion of my support, but it is completely donor funded, and it's pretty much all local donor funded. So we, other than a grant we got for the building at the time, we have very little money that comes from any outside sources. So it's all local donations that come in on a monthly basis to give us the ability to do the lunches and the different programs that we're doing.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, Kevin, thanks for taking the time, and I'll see you later on this afternoon for our rehearsal.
Yeah, definitely. You guys take care. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Let me take a second to talk about my sports show really quick.
Yeah.
So yesterday I had Cambry Scott, Kylie McCurtry on. They're EOU volleyball players. They're ranked number 9 in the nation. Tomorrow is going to be one of the first times that I've had a wrestler from EOU on, and he's actually nationally ranked. Tomorrow I'll have Keegan Mulhill interview on, and just Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5:30. It's coming out, and I talk about local sports, and that's it. I don't talk about national. I don't talk about regional. I talk about sports here in the Valley, and that's it.
And And are things loosening up a little bit? Do you think are the schedules coming out? Or are they starting? I mean, what's
For
happening?
EOU? Yes. The high school, we're still waiting on the decision. I think they're making a decision tomorrow for high school sports in Oregon. We're behind everybody though.
So,
I
but
mean,
they
we're one of
are
only 4 states that haven't had kids participate in sports at all at the high school level.
But the decision is not if they're going to have sports or not. The decision is literally when the games are going to be. Is that correct? If I remember right?
Well,
Or is that still kind of up in the air?
So right now, I'm pretty sure that we can't have any contact.
Okay.
And that's the problem because you can't really play sports without contact. I mean, the most sports you're touching each other.
Yeah.
In one way or another. And so that's the issue. But the CDC director yesterday said that schools can safely reopen. I mean, and that it should be the priority. And I agree. Like schools need to start, being looser. And sports have got to happen. These kids their mental health is being just battered by sitting at home and not doing activities.
Well, and the risk, I mean, I mentioned this several times. I heard someone recently sum it up saying that the chances of someone dying from COVID under the age of 25 is 1 in a million.
Yeah, very, very slim.
Yeah, compared to the chances of someone 80 years old dying from COVID is like 5 or 6 in 100. So significantly, so what that'd be like 1 in 20. So significantly, so that's where the risk is more to the teachers and coaches and staff, and I think, the vaccination, they're vaccinating teachers right now. So
the CDC director, and I read an article, the CDC director said vaccinations of teachers are not a prerequisite to opening schools safely.
Right. I agree. I'm just saying,
just got to get kids back in school. I mean, and we got to get them on out there on the field, on the court, engaged. And I'm not a professional at figuring out how to do that, but it just has to happen. Yeah.
Well, and you and
I was
talk
reading
about this
Facebook.
All day.
One of my buddies posted about sports coming back in Oregon. Cause like I said, we're one of 4 states, only 4 that have had no high school sports at all. And he made a post about it, and some pretty powerful members in our community commented on it and agree. I mean, with what I'm saying and with what he said, like we got to get sports back in schools. We got to get these kids in school. It's putting too much of a burden on families. It's putting too much of a burden on the kids. It's just time.
Yeah. Well, have you ever heard that old saying, bad looks better when worse comes along?
Yeah.
So, and the bad is COVID, but worse is the damage that happens when kids are not.
Psyche.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of, I think that's kind of what's happening. So
Song of the day for me, NF. Yeah. The artist is NF, like an N and an F.
Okay.
And the song is called Let You Down.
Okay.
He's a rapper, kind of. He's a Christian rapper.
And NF Let You Down.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. And my quote for the day is success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
So success consists of going from failure to failure, which we all do. But the success comes when you don't give up and you keep your strive and your enthusiasm about it.
I one time when I was younger, I had a conversation with a millionaire, and when I was younger, millionaires were that was a lot more significant. There's lots of millionaires now, but I mean, he was a very successful businessman, and I was interested in kind of what had led him to that, or what his secret was. And he said, well, this is my 7th business. The 6 before all went broke.
All right. Hey, that's how we learn. That's part of life. I mean, I've failed at lots of things.
Yeah.
Lots of things. And I'm still here.
Yep.
I mean, that's the reality of it.
That's exactly right.
Hey, this is all brought to you by Marketplace Fresh Foods right here next door, 4th and Adams in LeGrand. They got a full bistro. They got a chop shop where they'll cut up your vegetables. They got full grocery. There's no dining in yet. Hopefully that's going to come soon because of COVID. But you can get your food to go. They have great burgers. They have great lunch specials. Go check it out.
Yep. All righty, man.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Well, good to see you. So tomorrow, again, just to remind you, tomorrow night is the Youth for Christ thing. It'll be live at 7:00 on EOAlive. And then don't forget, if you have not known, we're getting ready to start the publication for this. But next Sunday night, which is Valentine's Day night, Tade McCandy and her band will be in the studio here. And there's an opportunity for folks to stop and get something to eat at Dining at the Landing and take that home. I mean, you can get something to eat anywhere, but they're specifically engaged in this promotion, and you can go home and get around a screen and a fire and listen to the band play. So that's kind of a cool thing we're excited about. So
absolutely. Thank you, Eastern Oregon.
Yep. Thanks a bunch, and we'll see you.
Good weekend. We'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday with Justin Rock from Rock and Sons.
JB.
JB.